It was a really charming animation piece that I thought worked on a lot of levels, based around a young girl who I assume might have been a new student at school who is dealing with the pressure and the nervousness of having to integrate into a place in which she might not be known or understood. And I thought that a lot of the thematic motives around scribbling, when she goes to the bus, everyone scribbled out, and she's an artist herself, really reflected sort of the self journey or the inner journey of a creative person trying to find their own voice, their own sense of self through their art, and find a way to express themselves in a world in which they feel like they may not fit or may not be that accessible to them. I thought that the dynamic with the cat was quite cute and created a sense of emotional endearment that really worked for me. And I thought ultimately what the piece was able to do with, I think, no dialogue or very limited dialogue really showed the power of the animation in particular, and sort of how the stylistic approach allowed there to be emotional depth even if it wasn't dominated by dialogue. So I thought it was a well done piece, clearly a passion project, and I think that passion came through, which is why I ended up enjoying the piece so much.
I think it packed a really big emotional punch in just 4 minutes. There's so many great like plant and payoff moments that you don't really see coming, and they do a really great job of creating suspense in such a short amount of time. I love the payoff that everybody is scribbled except for the protagonist. I think that there's a lot to read into that, and especially as you go deeper into her headspace and her state of mind. I also love the arc with the cat. When she first opened the box, I thought that I saw cutting marks, but I wasn't sure just because of the animation style. And I think they do a great job of like sort of hinting at that. And then once you get through to the end of the short, you see that that is exactly what you thought it was, but it's capable of being healed just by connection. I think they do a really great job of building that in such a short amount of time. I also love the interlude in the middle with the red ink. I thought that was really effective, and like it really did make the 4 minute short feel like it had a really clean 3 act structure. Like like a really clean, beautiful beginning, middle, and end, and just the switch in animation style shows goes to show like the breadth of talent and versatility of the creators. I think they did a really great job with creating a short that speaks to both like isolation and mental health, like all in one, in a really cute and relatable way. I think the idea and the running theme of like photography and capturing important moments is really clear throughout from the very beginning. The filmmakers are really smart to have the photographer flipping through a magazine and all of these already really arresting images. And I think that the black and white really served this short because it made us zone in and focus on the things that were important to the story, while still finding the beauty and sort of like the simplicity of the lighting and the shadow. All of that really worked well together. I also love the subtlety and the nuance and the conversation that the photographer has with the mother, and the subtlety of his reflections. Like it's not beating you over the head. It's a really serene, but introspective look at the photographer's life and his relationship to both his own mother and his youth and his profession, uh, and using the mom and the son as a way to expound on that. And I think it's great that the photographer is such a skilled photographer because it also gives a chance to show off the cinematographer and how strong they were. I think that it's hard to do a short about a photographer who's really great at his job and about capturing these really dynamic moments if your cinematographer isn't able to do that. And I think that director and cinematographer did a great job of really bringing that to life by capturing these really great moments themselves. And I loved how the credits you get to see these photographs, which are excellent and really beautiful, and you really get to see the light shine through.
The way it was able to take this idea of mental health and cutting and make it a lot more approachable, and just also show what this character was feeling and how she kind of viewed the world was really interesting. I also just kind of appreciated how the film is animated and everything was a scribble. I thought that was a really smart choice, and it made the story all that more interesting. Um, yeah, and I think it does a lot without saying anything.
Phenomenal. I really loved the animation. Uh, but the biggest thing for me is the fact that it does a very good job about speaking on mental health issues such as self harm and social anxiety, but never once does it outright say it's a film about self harm and social anxiety. It never outright says it in plain text, which I thought was very fascinating. Just how they did a very good job of showcasing this message without ever saying a single word about it. I especially like that in hindsight, they show you right at the beginning when the girl is putting the band aid on the cat. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but you can see on her wrists the harm that she had been doing to herself. But it happened so fast that you're not sure if your mind was playing tricks on you. But then just the imagery of the classroom, you start to realize, oh no, this is actually happening. Um, and I love the use of the scribbles to represent that social anxiety, that everything and everyone around her is noise. This overwhelming cacophonic noise. Uh, I found that to be a very creative way to showcase that kind of sensation. And I feel like Scribble just does a phenomenal job, all in all, of just conveying all of these feelings.
It's sort of a sweet story, but a serious subject. So I appreciated the, kind of the conflict of that, the getting through everyday life with this anxiety that this girl has, and that the people that around her are scribbles. I really appreciated that. I thought it was a neat kind of expression and visual to kind of get more of an idea of what this person's feeling like going through everyday life, and how the bad people are scribbled out in our scribbles and in her drawings. But it was kind of like a drawing come to life. And I just really liked the music. I felt like it was sort of, the whole thing was kind of her inner emotions being depicted in this, because it looks like she's a cutter, cutting herself and hurting herself because of what she's dealing with on the inside, but not knowing how to deal with it. So yeah, I felt like it was a serious subject matter handled in a really neat way with the different visuals, and the cat and the bond between her and the hurt cat, and how she can reach out to help the cat. I just thought it was really neat.
I think the simplicity of the visual animation helps us connect to the age of the main protagonist, and I think it makes the more serious topic within the story all the more meaningful. And I thought it was a very beautiful narrative between the girl and the cat.